In this video, I'm going to talk about how L-tyrosine can benefit your brain. Welcome to the Optimal Mind Performance channel. I am Dr. LeGrand and I grew up with ADHD and dyslexia. So let's talk about how L-tyrosine helped me and helped a lot of my patients and clients help improve their brain. So first off, there's three things I want to kind of really dive in about L-tyrosine. So L-tyrosine is a amino acid. It's a non-essential amino acid. So you think, okay, well, why do we even need to take L-tyrosine if it's non-essential? Because non-essential means that we don't necessarily have to get it in our diet. But the problem is that sometimes some of us can have deficiencies of L-tyrosine. We don't get enough of it, and so we want to improve our brain. So let's first talk about the first benefit of L-tyrosine, of how it actually does improve our brain. So when we're talking about brain chemistry, I want to talk about neurotransmitters. L-tyrosine specifically does help build specific neurotransmitters. Let's talk about these actual three neurotransmitters and how they are similar. So the three that actually L-tyrosine does help build is dopamine, epinephrine, and norepinephrine. So those three neurotransmitters are really important key elements for focus, as well as for motivation, especially as people who knows with dopamine, it is our motivation type of neurotransmitter. But epinephrine and norepinephrine helps deal with our stress, but it also when people are in high levels of stress and aren't managing their stress, they aren't going to be focused. So L-tyrosine does help build these two particular types of neurotransmitters. I see this all the time with my patients and clients where I will see their norepinephrine and dopamine specifically have low levels. And you will see this a lot with people who have ADHD, so who are inattentive, don't have focus, just like me. This is why I have found benefits with L-tyrosine. So if you do have low levels of dopamine and norepinephrine and epinephrine, you could certainly see the benefits with L-tyrosine. The second benefit that L-tyrosine can really help with the brain is it actually has shown to show mental alertness. Because L-tyrosine is helping building dopamine and also epinephrine and norepinephrine, it does increase alertness when we do take things like L-tyrosine. They've also seen in studies when people are sleep deprived and when they have been sleep deprived for 24 hours, ones that took L-tyrosine versus people who did not take L-tyrosine did be able to get more answers correct because of taking L-tyrosine. Now they were both sleep deprived for 24 hours, but the group that did take L-tyrosine was able to get significantly more amount of questions correct versus the group that did not. Now, the third benefit that L-tyrosine can really help with our brain is with depression. So it can be utilized as an antidepressant, especially for moderate depression. Now, why is that? So depression typically will also have low dopamine levels, but it also will have low serotonin levels. Usually that is the indicator for people who have depression, is they'll have low serotonin, but also can have low dopamine. And so by taking L-tyrosine, since it already does build dopamine levels, it can certainly definitely improve that, especially if you are significantly low in dopamine. Now you're wondering maybe how often should you be taking L-tyrosine? If you are considering taking it, you definitely need to be checking with your doctor first, like with any type of supplement, especially things like that are neurotropics. So L-tyrosine is a very strong neurotropic, and it can mix with your other medications, especially if you're taking mental health medications like an antidepressant, also an anti-anxiety medication or an ADHD medication. Any of these kind of medications can sometimes be an issue. Not always the case, but you always do want to check with your doctor. But what I usually recommend is usually taking L-tyrosine in the morning and at night. Okay, now why is that? Or if you really do know when you tend to be more stressed out, typically that's when you should probably take it an hour or 2 hours before. Some people get really stressed in the middle of the day. Some people get really stressed at nighttime. So you take it a couple hours before that. Or you might get really stressed in the morning. So you should definitely take it first thing in the morning. But typically you take, one in the morning, one at night is going to be beneficial for taking something like that. Now, as far as the dosage, this can vary and it's something you also should be checking. But typically, between 500 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams should be fine. That's why doing two different dosages of 500 milligrams of L-tyrosine can be fine, doing one in the morning and one at night. You might be wondering, okay, what are some other supplements that you can help improve your mind, improve your brain to have better focus and attention? Well, check out this playlist right here of all the other types of neurotropics and other types of supplements that do help with focus and also improving your brain. So join me right here in this video right now.